Very broad title, so I apologize up front to any of you that I don't include specifically in this perspective. Obviously, I have to have some of this based on my own experience. This is a nice paper that goes over the history of shoulder instability to just get all those dates in place. And if you sort of look at this here, 100 years ago, the Bankart procedure, Bankart lesion, 1923. And then we have the Latarjet procedure in 1954, which is a big influence for all of us. And then for me personally, I was with John Brems for a number of years at the Cleveland Clinic, who was a disciple of Dr. Neer. And so we learned a lot of things about the Neer's approach. And then I went out to Seattle with Rick Mattson, and things changed quite a bit there. And then after I left, we sort of went through this major arthroscopic transition. And so learned a lot from Steve Snyder, Eugene Wolfe, Dick Gaspari, Buddy Savoie, Laurent Lafosse, and others. And that's been very helpful. And we've done an instructional course lecture that's available that kind of goes over a lot of this as a reference. So when you say North American perspective, it's just like when you say the European perspective, there's a lot of different people doing a lot of different things. For me, obviously being in Seattle, then some of the things I learned from Gene Wolfe, and then Steve Snyder and others out in LA, and then on New York, Mississippi, Birmingham, all played a role in this. In fact, Anand Murthy and I were going to have a debate yesterday, which got cut out for cases on Neer shift versus the scope Latarjet. He was going to talk about capsulorrhaphy, and I was going to talk about the scope Bankart. Well, I went out to Seattle after I learned all of the Neer information from John Brems, and I heard something quite different. And Dr. Mattson said, well, why would you put a deforming force on the capsule when you just have to fix the lesion? And that's what we learned how to do. And the Mattson technique that he had published was basically, you don't need to release the coracoid, you don't have to split the capsule, just repair the lesion in place where it belongs, and you'll do very, very well with the outcome.